In this brief tutorial, we're going to go over how to create a new custom web page for your website. And we'll also show you how to link that new custom web page to the menu. First, make sure you're logged in as the administrator and go to the admin page. The admin page link may be in a different location on your menu if you've modified your menu, but this is the default location. On the admin page, there are two ways to create a new custom page. The easiest is just to click on the new page icon, which is right here. The second way is to go into File Manager, which I'll show you right now, and click on the custom page button at the top. Either place takes you to the same page. If I go into New Page, they both bring me back to the File Manager and this new Create Custom Web Page Editor. Now this is the editor you've seen before, probably when you edited your home page or many other pages on the website. They all use the same editor. It may have been a little smaller, but here we're going to be able to do all the things that we've done in the editor anywhere else. You can modify fonts, font sizes, bold, italic, underline. You can align your text, add links, add images, and so forth. So let's go ahead and just create a very simple sample web page. And maybe I will center this text and I will make it larger and bold. When you're done creating your sample page, the first thing you need to do is set up a file name for it. So when you enter your file name, this can be anything that has meaning. For example, I can put in a sample page. And you need to make sure you add the extension .htm to the end, because this is an HTML web page, and that's how they need to be set up with that extension in order to load properly. The rest of the title can be pretty much any alphanumeric characters and the underscore. Try to stay away from other symbols, as they can sometimes cause issues with the page loading. But in general, any normal alphanumeric characters should work. Let's go over some of the options at the bottom here. Many of these you don't have to worry about, but let's go over them in case you need them. The one that's used probably the most frequently is Restrict To. And what Restrict To does is Restrict To lets you choose which member groups are allowed to view this page. If you haven't dealt with any member groups, this probably won't apply to you. But let's say on your website you've set up several member groups. Perhaps you have groups for owners versus renters, or you might have groups for different sections of your community, so you can email them separately. There's lots of reasons. You could have your board members in a group. So what this lets you do is select a particular group that is the only group that can view this particular page, or groups. You can select multiple. So for example, if I was designing a custom page that was only meant to be seen by board members, I could check this box, and now non-board members, just regular residents who log into the site, wouldn't have access to this page, but board members would. So that's what that's used for. The additional editor field looks similar. It lists all your member groups, but what this does is this lets you set up a group, or select a group or groups that you want to be able to edit this page. So up here, we're allowing members, other groups of members, or we're restricting the page to be viewed by other member groups. Down here, we're saying this group, for example, board members and managers, are now allowed to view the editor that we have right here and actually make changes to this page. So they are additional editors of this page. This has nothing to do with the access to view the page, strictly for adding additional editors. The options down here make this document viewable by the public. This is probably one of the most common ones that's used. When you check this box, this page will now be viewable by anyone who can find the link. So for example, if you were to add this page to the menu, which I'll show you later, and on the menu you said make this menu option viewable to the public, and you check this box to make this page viewable to the public, now anyone on the internet who comes to your site, logged in or not, member or not, they can view this page. If it's on the menu publicly and it's marked here publicly individually, then they can view this page. So you want to be careful and make sure that you truly want this page viewable by anyone in the world. This is not restricted to your members anymore. When you uncheck this, which is the default state, this page can only be viewed by a registered logged in member. Display page without theme template. The theme template is all of this. It's your header, it's your menu, it's the footer down here. This is a rare option. It's not used very often. It would display the page without all of that stuff. No header, no menu, no bottom footer down here. Unless you have a specific reason for wanting this, there's no reason to check that box. It's simply there if you've come across a situation where you need it that way. Again, most users won't need to worry about that. Copy to homepage layouts. Again, this is a less commonly used option. In the homepage editors, the admin homepage setup screen, you can create what are called layouts. And so when you're working on a homepage, you can say not only save my homepage when I'm done editing it, but you can enter a name for it, a layout name. And what that does is it saves a separate copy in a list of layouts. So you can go back and forth between different homepages. Let's say you have different homepages for different seasons, and you want to load the fall homepage or the summer homepage. You could save them and just recall them without having to recreate them in the editor. Okay, so that being said, let's say you want to set up a page here in File Manager, but you want it to be available in that list of homepage layouts because you might want to use it later as a homepage. You can check this box, and when you save it, it will create a homepage layout with this name on the homepage screen, on the homepage editor screen. Again, if that sounds complicated and it sounds like something you're not really sure about, then you don't need to worry about it because it's probably something you don't use and you have no need for it. If you ever come across the need to have multiple homepages that you want to switch between and you happen to edit them in File Manager or create them in File Manager, you can create copies there and on the homepage list so you can select them. So again, not a commonly used feature. We also have this add an entry to what's new for this page. The what's new feature displays a list of what's been recently added to your website. For example, if you create a new news story or a new document that's posted to your website, it will usually appear on the what's new page. For custom pages that you edit here, they are not normally something that shows up on what's new, but you can check this box. It is checked by default. Or you can uncheck it if you don't want it to appear on the What's New page. And if your members log in and view the What's New page, or sometimes there's a widget on the home page that says What's New, a little box with just some links in it. The most recently added things to your website will be listed in that box. Checking this box will add this page to the What's New database, so it'll be listed in that list of what's new on the website. And over here, you can type in a very brief description. We could put in, sample web page, and that would show up on the What's New listing. The search tags are words that would normally be used to describe this page. You can enter multiple words separated by spaces or commas or semicolons, and that can be used as part of the search system within the website. Not all plans have this, but if your plan includes the site search application that allows members to search for content on your website, for example, they might put in a garage sale. Let's say you're having a community garage sale and they want to see when it was and they can't find that information. In the site search feature, they'll have a search box, maybe on your homepage or something. And they can go in there and type in some keywords of what to search for. Well, for a news story or a calendar item or a document, we already have a title field for each of those. So when it searches, it uses the title to try and find those keywords. Well, we don't really have a title here. We have a file name, but we don't really have a title that has a descriptive text. So you can enter keywords that you want here, again, separated by commas or semicolons or spaces. And when somebody uses that search feature, it will allow them to find custom pages on the website as well. And it'll use those search tags that you've put in here, those keywords, to see if any of them match what the user has put in to search for things. Okay, so now we have finished our options and we have finished our sample page and we're ready to save it. So we've got our name in there. Let's go ahead and save it. And after saving it, you can see it shows up in the file manager listing right here as a sample page. So now we want to add this to the menu so that other members can find it. So we're going to go to the admin page again, and we'll go to the menu editor. And there is a separate tutorial video just for working with the menu editor. So if you haven't worked with menu editor before, you may want to review that specific dedicated tutorial to get more familiar with it. Let's go to the bottom. I'm going to add a simple single extra line here to the bottom of the menu. And you can see it's inserted a line, a blank line. And I'm going to put in here sample page as my title. That's what's going to appear in the menu. In the action column, I want to scroll down and I want to find the file manager entry. That's file manager in parentheses and lowercase. And when I click that, a new field appears. And this is a list of the files that are in the file manager already for you to select from. So here's ours, a sample page. And I'm going to select that. And if I want, I can drop this down and I have other options. For example, restrict visibility to. Who should be able to see this menu option? Normally you would not check anything, and that means all of your members can see it. If you want the public to see it, those who are not registered, logged in members, or it could be somebody who is registered who isn't logged in yet. But this could also be people who are not registered, so you want to be careful with this. If you check this box, anyone can see this page. Now, if you do check this box here, you also need to check that box that we went over on the actual editor page, the one that says make this accessible to everyone. You have to have them both checked to make it visible to the public. Otherwise, this menu option may be visible to the public, but if I didn't check the box in the file manager editor, then they may not have access to the actual page. It may tell them this page, you don't have permission to access this page. So you either want to check both of them or check neither of them. Open in new tab window. If you wanted to open this page, when somebody clicks on the link in the menu, if you want it to open in a new browser tab as opposed to the same browser tab, you can check that box. And hidden is rarely used. This would be used if you had the page available on the menu and decide to take it down for a while, but you don't want to delete it from the menu. You can just check that box. It'll hide it temporarily. Then you could come back later and unhide it by unchecking this box, and it'll be available to members again. Let's say you want to take it off the menu while you're working on it, and then you want to make it available again. You don't want to actually delete it from the menu. You just want to hide it for a while. So anyway, that's how you would do this new entry. Again, you don't have to check any of those boxes, but you would enter your text for the menu, select File Manager in parentheses, select your page from the list, and then say Save. And because I added that to the bottom, it just shows up here at the right. And so now we have the new sample page entry. I can click on that. And when I click on it, it displays the sample page we just created. So that is how you create a new custom web page on your website and add it to the menu. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and thank you very much for watching.